guys, this is Tina. Welcome back to my channel. So we are here from another one of our working with what's on my desk, the 7 days working with what's on my desk video. As you can see, that pile is just still horrendous. It's possibly looking even worse because obviously in between these videos I have worked on other projects and things and done other videos. So it might even have a couple of things now on there that were not on there previously. So wow, what a tip. I'm going to flick the camera off and obviously put it on my tripod here, and we'll get making some things from the pile. Okay guys, right, let's have a look and see what we can conjure up today. So let me get rid of these wipes which have been holding my glue, which yeah is oozing out. So actually I'd best just leave my glue still resting on those because it's really coming out thick and fast. So what I might do is continue sort of the same as we did last time, in that I'm just going to grab what's literally at sort of the top level of the pile, and then, you know, work our way down like that. I'm going to try and go a little bit quicker than the last couple of videos, because so far obviously I'm not making a huge dent in what's there on my desk, but you know, never mind, it's all fun, isn't it? It's all good fun. So for this one, I might just make a couple of like sort of pockets for popping into a journal. So I'm just going to trim this down to, you know, a good size like that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to glue it onto this book page to strengthen it a bit. So I'm going to use this really oozy glue. It's just literally running out, so I'll just use that, and then hopefully we'll use it up in a minute, and I can throw it away then because it's really messy now. So I'm just going to, oof, look, really oozy, it's like coming out all over the card there. Not that I'm worried obviously about the card, but I am worried that I will end up getting glue everywhere. Not on myself, I'm not worried, but everywhere, all over other things that are laying around on my desk. So I need to be a little bit mindful of that. So that's that one. I'm just going to pop that to one side. I will just glue down the other piece as well, so that we've, you know, reinforced them both. They're printed on 160 GSM cardstock, this was. And they're obviously just, you know, offcuts, pieces that I have used previously. 160 GSM, weirdly, the brand that I buy, they seem to have changed recently. I know that I have talked about this before. I mean, you would think being 160 GSM kind of determines, you know, the thickness of that paper and that it's going to forever stay that way. But no, because for some reason it seems a lot thinner than it used to seem. I know that sounds ridiculous because you would think the point is it is that weight and therefore it will always be that. But no, they seem to have made it thinner. So I don't know whether that's just my imagination or whether that is genuinely, you know, what's happened, but it feels like they have anyway. So I'll just again pop that to one side to just dry a little bit. I've got another one here which I'd already cut out for something else, so I might as well do that one as well. Okay. Right, hopefully my glue is now coming to the end and I can go on to a fresh bottle, but waste not, want not, you know, it had come to the point where it wasn't really coming out at all, so I ended up having to cut the end of the bottle off, which is why it's now pouring out. But there was hardly any left, but you know, too much to just throw it away, so that's what's going on with the glue. Right, just okay, let me just bin this one now because that's just really gluey, and you know, I'm likely to get very messy with that. So I'll leave that to dry as well. Now this one I've already cut to a sort of tag shape. It's obviously been sat on my desk, you know, for a long time anyway. And this is just some book page, which again, I'm thinking I probably had cut this down previously, you know, planning on making a tag, and then just hadn't for some reason got around to doing it. So I'm just having a look for something that I can back it on. I've also got this piece. So again, might just, you know, again, just use this to make into another little pocket piece. I mean, I'm just really, you know, oops, time to get the other glue. Right, I'm just really, just, you know, as you know, trying to clear the desk off a little bit. So I'm just literally grabbing kind of next things off of the pile and just, you know, just going to create just whatever comes basically from them, because it's just about literally, oh, let me get rid of those where the glue was stood. It's just about literally clearing some sort of space or making some sort of order from that hideous mess that is piled up. So I mean, obviously in the past I have called it desk ephemera because somebody had suggested that in some comments and said, oh, I always refer to mine as desk ephemera, and I love that term. I have to say mine's become slightly more than desk ephemera now. It's kind of like, I don't know, but a certainly desk pile of ephemera. So it's, yeah, it's just got a bit out of hand, so it just needs working down slightly, I think. Right, just looking for something to back this onto so that I can, you know, make a tag from that. So I mean, it's not like I've got a shortage of stuff here, it's just finding something that's actually plain on the back. Plain on the back, but that I don't mind using. Which, I mean, the irony, you would think that I would just be happy to use anything really, wouldn't you, to just clear it off of the desk, but no, still being fussy and not really kind of using anything. Right, here we go, we've got some just beigey type colour. Okay, well, let's just do it like this, and then we'll just make it, obviously, you know, we'll cut it down and make it slightly shorter. There we go. Oops. So just apply some glue down the edge, and then we'll just apply a bit of glue down this edge. Okay. Right, let's just pop that on there. So I hope everyone's doing well. I hope you're all having a good day. Hope you're doing some crafting and having a good time. The sun is actually shining here, would you believe? Yay, hurrah! It's freezing. It's very, very cold. When I took my daughter to school, it was like, wow, freezing. I don't know what temperature it was because obviously we walked, but it was very cold. But having said that, it was just gorgeous to be actually out in the sunshine as opposed to the wind and the rain and, you know, goodness knows what else that we've been having recently. So yeah, definitely not complaining. It was lovely, and I love those cold crisp days. They just make you feel so much brighter and nice, don't they? So yeah, it's one of those so far anyway. We've had like this really peculiar weather where like 1 minute it's really nice and then the next minute it's like hailstones. So I'm saying it's lovely. Who knows, it could all change in the space of like the next 5 minutes. After 7 days, oh gosh, I'm sure you don't want to look at that, do you? At the end of the 7 days, we can see how much stuff we've managed to clear off the desk. Something tells me it's not going to be much. But who knows, who knows. So this one I will have as a tag because it's obviously now on that pretty stiff card. So I just distress that. This as well. This one was one that you know, was buried on my desk, but obviously I must have been going to make this as a tag a long time ago already, so it was already, you know, I've already stuck it onto some card. So again, I am just literally reaching for whatever I've got to hand. I'm really trying to be ruthless and well, not necessarily ruthless, but strict would be the word. Strict, and not then reach for anything else. I am literally going to be using the stuff from my desk and nothing else. So, I mean, that's really quite cute like that, isn't it? Should we just do that? I'm trying again. I'm trying not to dither too much because I don't want to, you know, take so long, because obviously we're only doing these videos for a week, and at the rate that I have been going, there's going to be literally no difference to my desk whatsoever. Love that, how that looks. So, I mean, that's just, I'm not kidding, you know, literally rubbish that I've had here. Just that I had within viewing and grabbing distance. But they looked really nice when just plonked in that sort of haphazard sort of way, didn't they? So just pop this down. Okie dokie. Just pop that there. And then it was quite nice having that postage stamp, because that stamp's just a perfect colour for this, isn't it? So let's just pop that on. Like that. So, and I know that I said this last time, but how are you getting on? If you're doing a similar mission to me and, you know, clearing your desk, working with things on your desk, how's it going? Are you having a bit more success than me? Or are you just being rubbish like I am? Not really making a single jot of difference. It's hard, isn't it? Hard to, let me just tear this down a bit. It's hard to make it look different because, you know, this stuff is a lot in quantity. So to actually make it, you know, very different, obviously you've got to use an awful lot of stuff. So, yeah, wonder how you're getting on if you're doing a similar thing. I wanted that sort of more up by the postage stamp. And this again was just a scrap that was laying here, which I just thought, wouldn't it be good to be able to incorporate that and get rid of that? But now I'm not so convinced that that's the right thing to do. I quite like it on there, but I'm kind of preferring it like this. And then I can't obviously have this up near the postage stamp, which not quite so sure I'm, you know, that keen on it when it's moved down. Let me just see what else I have. Hold on. Just having a bit of a sort of quick scan around, having a look, seeing what else is laying around on here. Oh gosh. Some of this stuff must have been here for absolutely yonks, I must say. No, that's not right either. Do you know, I'm just going to have it like that, piled up like that. So just cut that down, not cut that down, sorry, stick that down. And we'll just glue this one down. Like that. And then I've just got this little stamped piece, which again, you know, just floating on my desk, but great way to get rid of just that, really. Put it on there. So I'm wondering now whether I'm going to make this, I think, probably tag shaped. So what I might do is just trim it down slightly more at the bottom, so it's not so, you know, so long where I wanted to cover up, or yeah, where I wanted to get rid of some of that excess paper. And then I'm just going to cut my corners. Oops. Okie dokie. That looks quite nice, doesn't it? And obviously it probably doesn't look that great, but once I ink it up, I'm sure it will, you know, hopefully bring it to life a little bit more. So let's ink around there. I'm going to just ink around the back as well, because obviously I think that must just be backed onto white card. It's quite stark anyway. We'll just ink that up. And just ink up the front. Hopefully going quite grungy with this. Like that. Okie dokie. Okay. And then we'll just have that there, I think. So I'll just pop that on. I might pop it on with my hot glue, because that would just give it a slightly raised effect. You know, if I don't press it in too firmly, you know, too hard, that just then gives that a slightly raised effect there. Okay, so that looks really nice now. Now what would be really great would be if I had some sort of really good coloured ribbon or something to have as the tab. And just again, having a look around my desk. I've got that, but that's obviously not going to work as the tab. I've got this green flower. Well, I guess what I could do is something like that. I was obviously straight away reaching for my little bag, you know, that's hung on my drawer there. But to be honest, I should really, you know, go for what's on my desk, shouldn't I? Let's have a look. Just ink up this butterfly. I think this might look too cluttery, but let's just see. Ooh, it's a bit cluttery, isn't it? And is that a bit cluttery with that, you know, being layered up onto there? Well, it's quite nice actually. It did sort of add something more to it. So again, let me just ink this little flower like that, and I'm just going to ink this one as well. So what I'm going to do, I think, is just staple that there. Just wonder whether we might want like another postage stamp. So I've still got my stamps here in the pots. I mean, they're not strictly colour, well, they are colour coordinated, but colour coordinate, you know, colour coded. I've sorted them via colour. But obviously over time I've used them, so they're gradually getting a bit mixed up. Now you see, that would have been quite cute, but obviously I've got that stamp there, so it's a bit of an overkill of stamps, I think. So, but that's the type of thing that I guess you could do. I've got some of that cute flower trim that Edwina gifted me. Oh, do you know what I'm just thinking would have looked really awesome on here? Is, you know, Laura had gifted me those flowers that she'd painted gold. Oh, they would just look so cool. Now, unfortunately, I don't think I've got any here. They are, I know where they are, but they're like over behind me, which I feel is cheating a little bit, because obviously I was trying to be really good and just choose what's just on my desk. But it's a shame, because actually a gold flower in there would just look perfect, wouldn't it? Oh, and I haven't even got my gold paint here that I could just paint my own flower quickly, which is a shame. Now I have got these, which are fabric flowers, but as you can see, it's goldy colour. So I think that maybe will do instead. Oh, that's gorgeous, isn't it? Yep, really like that. So let me just get my stapler. And we'll just staple that on there. Come on. Okay, so that's a little tag there. Love how that little you know, the tab bit for it is. I just think that looks gorgeous. So yeah, really like that. I mean, could always edge that in gold or something like that to bring in the gold a little bit on the bottom, maybe just like in one corner and maybe down that side or something. But again, as I say, I don't have my gold paint here, would you believe? So I would have to do that in slow time. So, but anyway, that's really cute, isn't it? So that's another piece gone. Right, I should really check what the time is and things. So hold on a moment. Oh my gosh, we're up to like 25 minutes already. The time just flies by, doesn't it, when you're crafting? I don't know about you guys, but I just get so sort of into the zone of what I'm doing that literally, you know, before you know it, you've zapped up like, you know, a couple of hours. Couple of hours, but hey, what a lovely way to spend a couple of hours, you know. Just got my dominoes here. Which I just thought actually they might look quite good on here because it's quite a nice contrast to this book page. So again, if I just go round the edge and ink this up like that. So again, I'm going to have this as a tag because this card is quite thick. So it's probably a little bit too thick to use as a, you know, like a pocket or something. So it's probably better to use this as a journaling card or something. Let's just have a look and see what we can layer up on here. Got some of my little vintage fairy tale words, which we could pop down. Let's see what else I have. Got some book page. And then I have got some yellow flowers here, which would be quite nice because they would tie in the yellow, wouldn't they? Let's just see what else. I've got those. Oh no, I've just torn that. It was like obviously stuck to the flower underneath. What do you guys think? Just tear this down a bit. Right, let's just ink this one up a little bit. You know, again, I mean, I am literally just grabbing things that are on my desk, so I wouldn't necessarily normally be using this particular combination of things, but because obviously my mission is clear a lot of stuff off of my desk, that's, you know, that's my priority here. So let's just ink up these flowers. I've got these ones as well. Perhaps we could have them tucked out behind. It's quite nice, isn't it? Let me just trim this down because obviously at the side I've just got that overhanging book page, so I might just tear that. So I haven't got like a dead straight, you know, scissored line. Scissored line? Not even sure if that's an accurate description, but it seemed to sum up what I was trying to say quite well. So let me just tear this down a little bit more. Well, it's so funny, isn't it? Because sometimes you're tearing things down and you just think, wow, I'm going to end up with nothing here because I'll have torn so much stuff out. I'll end up with just nothing left at all. That's quite nice, isn't it? Yeah, I quite like that. Now, do we want any more dominoes or anything? Let me just do one more. There we go. Yeah, unfortunately, because I mean, what I probably should have done was just filmed these, you know, videos back to back for like 7 hours straight or something. So as I literally cleared my desk. What's happened is obviously I did not do that. So subsequently, there's now even more stuff that might have not even been here in the first place. Because of course, you know, I've done a couple of other videos, and so more things being put here. I mean, they haven't just been put here. Obviously, I've put them here, but you know what I mean. Okay. Just pop those down there. And I really like this little, oops, domino piece over there. Just pop that down. And I'm kind of thinking that, you know, it would be nice to have another one. There. There. Well, let's just have it here, I think. Yeah, let's just pop it there. Okay. Actually, I want it with the, oops, the dots there, I think. Okay. And I'm just going to pop my happily ever after down. Okay. I went to see that film, Dark Waters, with Mark Ruffalo. Oh, it was a really good film. They'd obviously done it very much like Erin Brockovich, which, oh my gosh, how good is that film? I mean, that story is just so amazing, and she was just such an incredible woman, wasn't she? Well, isn't she? I mean, she's still alive, obviously. Yeah, I just loved everything about that film. And I mean, I love Julia Roberts. She's just so brilliant to watch, isn't she? And yeah, so it was done a little bit like that. I mean, obviously the story was kind of similar lines, you know, along similar lines, in that it was chemical poisoning by, you know, big company, and then a sort of cover-up, you know, which was obviously harming lots of people, you know. And this is in very recent times. I mean, I'm not sure, Erin Brockovich, I'm not really too sure when that was actually. I mean, the film's quite a few years old, isn't it? But yeah, this one, oh, isn't that really nice down the side? Now, do I staple it down there and have it sort of ruffled? Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, this one was, it was very recent. I mean, obviously, because the legalities go on for such a long time, I think like it took something like 11 years or something, you know, for the claims to be like resolved. So it actually only got finished, well, I don't even know if it is finished, it maybe is still going on, but you know, the claims that it mentioned in the film, I think only got resolved, settled, paid out, or you know, whatever, 2013, something like that. So I mean, really in very recent times. Whereas Erin Brockovich, yeah, I'm not quite sure when those claims were, but, or indeed they maybe are still ongoing, I don't know. But anyway, it was a really good film, and yeah, just, you know, again, your heart goes out to any of those people who have been affected by, oh sorry, let me just, oh, now I'm not going to be able to find my staples, oh, because I've put them in my bag, which is not beside me now. Right, I'm going to have to staple these in slow time, because I don't want to obviously waste your time while I find my staples. Right, hold on a moment. Right, very annoyingly, they obviously weren't where I thought they were. So do you know what? I'm just going to finish this off by just gluing the remainder down. I will have to hunt for my staples later. It's just so annoying, isn't it, when things like that happen? So, especially if you're obviously doing a video. So let's just glue this piece down here like that. I think that still looks fine, to be honest. There we go. Okay. So a bit of a sort of different tag there with the ribbon down the side, but I think looks really striking and really nice, to be honest. So yeah, now do we want a bit of bling or anything on there? Let's just have a look. Just trimming some down. It's my daughter's parents' evening today when I go and pick her up from school. So so she's already saying, oh, can I have some sweets? If I do well, can I have sweets? So I said, oh, well, we'll see. How well do you think you've done? She's a good girl. So I would be shocked if if it was a bad report, because she's a good girl. She's a messy girl. She's very super messy. You know, it's kind of like a bit of a standing joke how much mess she gets in. Like, she goes in with her uniform tidy, she comes home just like the biggest scruff bag on the planet. But aside from that, she's a good girl. So I'm expecting a nice parents' evening. But yeah, she said, will I get sweets? I said, well, I have to see how good you've been. I said, oh, what will we do if you haven't been good? So I said, oh, maybe there will be no sweets. No sweets for a whole week. She couldn't believe it. A week? A week with no sweets? I mean, lots of children don't have sweets, you know, other than weekends, do they, these days, because of the, you know, being healthy and things. But yeah, I do let her have sweets. Right, I'm going to leave that like that, I think. So I'll pop that down to the side. Now, because I've been obviously hunting for my staples, I'd even forgotten really what we were up to, but we'd been waiting for these pieces to glue, well, to dry, to just make some little pocket type bits. So we will just crack on with those. And again, what I might do is I might trim them all down. You know, this is a bit of a mass making sort of technique here. I'm thinking, to be efficient, let's trim them all down. Like that. Wow, that glue is obviously really streaming out, because can you see how curly this is? And it's still really wet, like really wet. And it's been a little while, hasn't it, really, since we glued that. So and again, I mean, if you're doing anything similar to this, you could always grab your sewing machine now and stitch around the edges of these pieces. Obviously, I don't have my sewing machine here, but you know, that would look really nice. So I'm just, you know, squashing them down a little bit, because obviously, as I say, they're quite curly now from that glue, which is a shame, but I mean, it's fine, because to be honest, once they're stuck into a journal, they're not going to be curly, obviously. And also these are wet. So, I mean, once they dry, they will firm up. They'll firm up, but they'll be probably completely solid once they're dried, because sometimes the glue makes them incredibly stiff, doesn't it? So yeah, they'll probably be like great big, you know, hardback books. Okay, a great big plank of wood or something. They'll be so thick, so stiff anyway. Not thick, but stiff. Right, just chop those down. Okie dokie, right. Let's just bin these bits and bobs. Okay, so I've got these 3 pieces here, which are all obviously from that blue velvet paper. And then I've just got this piece here, which was from my Gosford green. I mean, actually, that flower was just there from the pieces we'd just been working on, but it kind of looks quite nice there, doesn't it? So maybe that was just, you know, waiting to be used somehow. These are some more of those photographs, you know, from the magazine, which actually, maybe I could use something there. Let's try that. I mean, I feel reluctant because that's going to cover all of that, which, what a shame, because I love that paper. I'll just see whether I've got a smaller one. Not really. Not really. Not that shape. Oh, that's a shame, isn't it? I wonder if I have it that way. That's just a bit strange, isn't it? Yeah, that's probably a bit weird. So, right, well, we'll have a think about that. Let me move these 2 out of the way. So I'm not going to be able to do the mass production here. It's just going to throw me off, I think. So just inking these up again, because, you know, they're from that, you know, vintage publication, but obviously they're not that discoloured. So I feel that they need a bit more help to make them look a bit more grungy. Just having a look now to see what I've got. So I've got some doily here. This one's a bit bigger than those other ones. So we could have that there. It's quite nice, isn't it? Yeah, I quite like that. So what I'm going to do, I think, I'm going to rough these edges up. I do like this effect. I know not everybody does. Sherry. I did say I'm going to stop saying that, but I can't help it. Every time I do it now, I just think of Sherry. So, right, let's just ink this up now. Let's check that I'm filming and I'm in frame in a minute, because obviously when I came back from looking for those staples, I was like a bit in a world of my own, you know, where I was like preoccupied with trying to think where they could have been. So I didn't really look to make sure that I was filming. So yeah, it's always best to double check, isn't it? Nothing worse than sitting here chatting away to myself and then discovering that I haven't really been filming all along. Okay, just pop that one down like that. And I'm just going to pop that there to the side. So again, I will just use my glue, oops, for this piece. Okay. Okay, just pop that like that. That's nice, isn't it? And then let's see what else we've got. Because I'm just, you know, keen to use quite a bit of stuff really. So let's just trim this down. Around there and around there. Oh, that's a little bit monstrous on there, isn't it? So let's just see if this one looks any better. And again, because I'm obviously just using the bits on my desk, you know, I don't necessarily have more of these in different sizes, or maybe I have, but they're now buried on my desk. So it's very much a case of just using what we've got to hand here today. So let's just see whether we can make this work, even though it is quite big. Well, I don't mind it being big, to be honest. It's, you know, it's okay, isn't it? So I've got some white lace there. Do throw it that side. Oh, decisions, decisions. It does matter though, doesn't it? I was watching a video with Sagita. I think it was even this morning. And she was debating where to put a word, you know, left or the right or up or down. And I mean, literally, it was probably like a centimetre, you know, centimetre up or centimetre down. But, you know, to us crafters, that does make a difference, doesn't it? You know, because you don't want to put it in the wrong place and then think, oh, no, you know, wish I'd put it somewhere else. So, yeah, it all does make a difference. Just going to glue that on. Again, just because this is then another little scrappy piece gone from my desk, which is just awesome. Okay. Oops, just check that I'm sticking it up the right way. Okay. Got some bling here. Again, that was just, you know, just laying there. So if it's just laying there, then it's obviously meant to be used, isn't it? Oops. Oh, come on. Come on, come on. Do you know what? I can't actually see the end of that at all because it had that big blob, like, you know, hanging off. So I couldn't really see the actual end of the nozzle then. Right, let's just pop that on there. Oh, gorgeous. Bling just makes everything look lovely, doesn't it? Yep. I never get tired of using bling. Got these pink flowers. Again, I mean, I'm just trying those out because they're just here on the desk, you know, so it would have been another thing gone. No, I don't think I can use those. Now, do we want anything else? I feel like I'm not quite done with this yet. I feel like it could have more. Could kind of accommodate more stuff on it. Just rummaging through, seeing what else I've got here laying around. What is this stuff? Oops, just got one of those mulberry flowers, but I wondered what it was. It's obviously just where I've pulled it apart, but you know, it's sort of squashed up. Oh dear, what else have I got? Let's have a look. Oh, I don't know what that is. It was just like a punchy from like a thumb hole, I think. Just got that. What else? Look, I mean, these types of things. Why have I got these types of things here? No idea. Absolutely no idea. I mean, we could have this butterfly. It's a little bit sort of lopsided-y, this one, I think. Oh, I've got another one of these. And this one's a better shape. So I'm just going to fussy cut this out. Oops. Okay. Again, I mean, I have got my little tub of butterflies that I've got ready to use, but because they're not strictly speaking on my desk, I didn't really want to dip into them. You know, I really am trying to be strict, really strict, and just use just literally what's here. Oh, that butterfly is not really quite the right colour, funnily enough. It's been stamped in brown and don't necessarily think it's quite right, but again, you know, I am trying to be just using things up, so I'm just going to go with it anyway. So do we want it up there or down there? Should we have it up there? Right, let me just check whether there's anything else lurking around there in the little deepest, darkest places on my desk. This is like the underneath part of the piles. It's all the rubbish that's just underneath, which I have to say, well, I'm embarrassed to say it's covered in dust, because, well, clearly my desk doesn't get dusted ever, because how could it? Yeah, so everything's very dusty under here. I'll probably start sneezing in a moment. That would just be, you know, lovely, wouldn't it? Okay, got a little button there. No, didn't want to do that. Right, let's just see what else I have. Oh my gosh, look. Rubbish. Absolute rubbish here. Right. Nope. Just a bit more paper dust there. I feel like, you know, something's going to just suddenly jump out in a minute. Ah, weirdly enough, I've got like a little stamped acetate butterfly. I wonder if that would be better. No. Right, let's just go for this, for goodness sake. I'll be here all day. That's been stamped on the back of a Christmas card. And again, obviously a long time ago, and it was just still lingering around on my desk, but I've also got a little tab there. That's kind of cute, isn't it? I mean, I'm not necessarily saying it goes, but there's something quite sweet about that there, I think. Should we pop that there? Because although it doesn't go, it does go with the photo, because the photo's sort of black and white. So let's just go for that. And then that's another piece. Another minuscule piece gone from my desk. Wow. This is just groundbreaking stuff here, honestly. So we've got that. Now I just wondered whether we could have a little bit of bling lined across there. So let me just rummaging across. It's quite interesting actually, the stuff that you find when you start rummaging under the piles that are on your desk. You know, you have all these things that you didn't even know you had. And mainly dust, obviously, but oh, and now that's the phone. Hold on, guys. Not very good today. So sorry about that, guys. That was, I don't know, somebody seeing whether I wanted to extend my warranty on my washing machine. You know, they're just never very interesting calls, are they? And, you know, I mean, obviously they don't know you're doing a video, but it's so annoying. So that's all that was. Although, I mean, obviously I said no, but maybe I should have said yes, because we had to replace our TV at the weekend, and we'd only actually had it for 3 years. Maybe not even quite 3 years. It might have been like, you know, 2 years, 10 months or something like that. But it was very annoying. I mean, the only good thing is obviously the price of TVs drops by the day, doesn't it? So what was, you know, a few years ago quite a bit was now significantly cheaper, and had added things to it, like, you know, smart TV and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, it was the last thing that I obviously, or, you know, that we wanted to be buying. It was very annoying. But things just aren't made to last, are they? Right, so that's that one, which obviously I would just kind of pop that as a little pocket on a page. Or to be honest, you could have that as a tag now, because it looks quite like a tag now. It's got that little file foldery bit up there. We'll just do this one, and then, to be honest, because I've now lost track completely of how much we filmed, because the phone call and the stopping for the, you know, trying to find the staples, I actually don't know now how long I've been filming for. So perhaps we'll make this the last piece, because, you know, I don't want to obviously be filming for too long. So, oops. And I have noticed that several of my videos are beginning to go pretty long lately, so it's really difficult, because and I'm sure that if you are a fellow video creator, a content creator, as they refer to people on YouTube, don't they, it's really difficult, because actually I find it's one extreme to the other. They're either really long or actually only about, you know, 15 minutes. You know, because sometimes you think, oh, I'll just quickly come on and share that project or, you know, that idea. And it's literally like 15 minutes. Or you think, oh, I'll just come on and have a play with such and such. And it's like an hour and 15 minutes. So, yeah. It's just one extreme to the other, obviously. Now, I do quite like that. I am a bit loath to cover that up because I do really love that image. So I'm just having a look to see what else I might have here that I could use instead. Again, obviously trying to just be, you know, rigid and just use those things which are laying about on my desk. I've got some decoupage napkin here, which actually is quite a good colour match to that. But this has been decoupaged onto really, really thick card. So it's probably not that ideal on here because it would be, you know, really, really, really stiff on there. So I'm just having a quick rummage, seeing what else I might have. Oh, no, come on. Got a little bird. Probably, well, it's not too bad. Let's just ink him up. Yeah, so anyway, I obviously said no to the chap about the warranty for the washing machine, but I mean, in hindsight, perhaps I should have said yes, because who knows when that will be packing up. Probably soon. I don't know how long we've had it. Probably about 3 years. So it's probably, you know, time is running out. I did read something actually that they literally make things to last literally until like the, you know, the warranty kind of thing would be up. It's really bad. Things are definitely not made to last, are they? I mean, as I say, the only good thing was when we actually went to buy a replacement, I couldn't believe how cheap they were compared to like 3 years ago. I mean, obviously there were expensive ones, if you see what I mean, that have now become, you know, the latest thing. Not that ours was the latest thing back then, but do you know what I mean? It was obviously more modern than it seems now. But for an equivalent kind of thing now, pretty cheap. So, yeah. And obviously we've got those Now TV sticks, you know, and I didn't know. But, you know, when we got home and my son said, oh, we don't need to plug the Now TV stick in. You know, it just works. It's got Now TV on it. So, yeah. Every cloud. Not that it was a big hardship having the Now TV stick, because obviously we'd already bought it. You know, so it was just there, plugged in. Anyway, so it wasn't like a sort of big issue having a Now TV stick. But still. Let's just hope that it, that it's, you know, lasts a little bit. There we go. Just ink around there. But it's so annoying, isn't it? You know, these things just suddenly pack up, don't they? And it's like, oh, we've not really had that very long. Why is that packed up already? Because the last thing you want to do is obviously have to go out and buy a new TV. But having said that, it packed up and we went without it for a week. And I mean, I always think we don't really watch that much TV, you know, because we go to the cinema and things like that quite a lot. I would say our actual TV watching is not that much. But I can't tell you how much we did miss it. Because, you know, thinking you don't watch TV and then being without one, they're two different things, aren't they? So, yeah, we're pleased to get another one. We were pleased to get another one. Of course, you know, it's not really as nice as the old one because you buy them again to fit exactly where they're going. So Obviously it was hung on the wall, and it just fit there perfectly. And this one seems to jut out slightly further and things like that, but you know, who cares, to be honest. I mean, it only bothers you for the first few days because you can still remember the old one. Anyone walking into the house who hadn't seen the old one would think it was fine, and actually, you know, in a couple of weeks when we can no longer remember the old one, it will seem fine. But it's just at first you think, that, you know, that doesn't kind of lay quite the same as, or hang quite the same as the other one, but never mind. It's better than not having a TV at all, isn't it? So it's fine. I think I said about when we went to the antique mall and there was like this TV there, just not even recognising resembling a TV as we would know them. Well, not even as we would know them, but even when I was a child, it didn't resemble anything like even TVs when I was a child or anything. You know, to the point that I literally had to kind of look twice and think, is that a TV? It was just really, really weird. I had this big bulbous, you know, what do you call it? Screen. And yeah, it was just really strange. So I said to my son and my daughter, you know, oh my gosh, look at that TV. They were like, oh wow. But yeah. Okay, right, let's just pop some lace on this and then we'll call it quits here for today, I think. So all that reminiscing about how things used to be. Right, let's just pop that lace again. That was just some lace that's just lingering here on my desk. So we'll just pop that down here. Just dab that glue off. Started doing that. I know I've said this, but I just think then it stops it showing through quite so much when you glue the lace down. So yeah, I've started kind of doing that. Unless it's, you know, really quite thick lace where it's not really going to be very visible. And then it's probably not necessary. Or sometimes, you know, when the glue comes out in a really thin stream, then obviously that's probably fine too. Oops. Must have some bling on here because we can't just have a bling-free piece, can we? Let's just pop that down. Okie dokie. Pop that down there. Like that. And I have just spotted some more flowers on my desk, which I just thought, actually, I'm just going to see whether I could pop those anywhere. Let me just ink these up so they're a bit darker. Yeah, I might just pop those there. Yay, that's another little tiny thing off of my desk, you see. As if that's making a slightest bit of difference. It's just a drop in the ocean, isn't it? There we go. Right. Okay, so that's another piece. Right. Okay, so we will probably leave it there for today because, as I say, I've now lost track of completely how long this video has been. And then hopefully you will join me for the next video. I won't bother filming the desk now because, trust me, it really doesn't look very different to the beginning of this video. But I will obviously film it at the beginning of the next one. So I hope you'll join me next time, and thanks very much for watching then. Thanks then. Bye.